Okay, so I was talking about the interval. See, I've asked my attorney. They know that I'm sending whatever. See, I've asked for the timestamps, or I'm sorry, I've asked for an email that they should be able to provide, no problem. And that email is it's the same email that I got when they gave me a partial body cam video. They sent that out to me in an email with a link to Dropbox for individual files, which only, by the way, while we're at it, it's only about 30% of the total time, and it's only, it's alternating officers, and there's much missing body cam. On the first instance, I had mistakenly assumed it was only missing 17 minutes, but no, it's missing about 2 hours times the number of people that were there. But that aside, they're missing the entirety of the second body cam video. They can't, they haven't been able, it's not like I've been shifting around what I've been asking for. I've been asking for the discovery, for all of that. They've now, okay, we're gonna tie this back. Okay, so they should be able to produce that email. They haven't been. My own agent, my attorney, has not been able to do that. She hasn't been real aggressive either. As I was saying, she hadn't done anything. I'm not able to see where she's done anything. Okay, so there's that. But they can't produce that email. And there's a reason for that. Now, we need to refer back to that interview with me and, what's his name? Sergeant Collier. Sergeant Collier did not overperform. He wasn't like a reservoir of knowledge that I was able to tap into when I had him. He was like the third dude I'd talked to. We had gone up the chain and he was the man, and I thought I was talking to the man. But then the man starts, the whatever material he was reading from, the supposed body of evidence that was against me, he's apparently, it's like it was in pencil, because he wasn't able to decide. Well, he tried about 6-7 times. I'll have to go back and count. I caught him when it was a trifecta +1, so I had him at 4 times, and then we added on some others like it was an abandoned car, etc. I'm not sure the total number of the variations that he attempted, but he finally settled on, hey, you need to talk to the chief about that. So he's instructing me to talk to the chief, which, I hollered back at the chief, actually, and I never got a response. He was kind of laying low. It sucks, too, because I'm in a position where I'm against law enforcement, and I'm naturally for law enforcement, because I understand the function that they provide, man. They are the only thing between you and it being like, I was watching last night, like being in Spain when the Romans were coming out there and had killing squads. That's what it would be like without the police. So people that, say defund the cops and all that don't know what they're asking for. But it sucks because when there's a bad actor, when there's a guy like Sergeant Collier in there, that's willing to just make it up as he goes. Sergeant, I'm calling him out this guy does not need to be, and I know that Jesus, I can't believe what I'm saying here. But, just look at the evidence. Okay, here's some evidence right here. That after that dismal performance, when he finally gave up and said, talk to the chief, 1 week later, he had 1 week to reflect and think about the things that I'd asked for, like my property, for example. You know, the property that got seized during the same interval as the missing body cam video. Like, that's nowhere to be found. I asked for it, and he's not able to. So then a week goes by, and that's not on his mind. You know, I didn't answer exactly everything that Lance asked. You know, even though it's in the discovery request. No, he goes ahead and initiates the process to have me violated for pretrial. You know, and that's, they will hold you without bond for that. You know, it's because you're disobeying the judge. The judge gets pissed about that. Sergeant Collier went ahead and started that one up. Now, mind you, the things that are alleged that I did, I mean, these devious acts included like stuff that's protected in the Constitution, like the right not to have your property seized by the government. Like that was kind of a cool thing to have, you know. Back in the day, the British would just come seize your house and just say, "Tough, dude." You know, you don't want the government to do that. That's what they did with my property. It's still, my computer and my phone are still over there. They seized that car out from under me. That's why I'm guessing that my mom doesn't really want to answer under oath whether that car had been a gift and whether she had given me a valid title and told me and been instructing me on how to complete that. You know, just because you didn't make it to the DMV, the true ownership of that car doesn't just revert back and the dude that bought it loses out because you know, that's not the way it works. And especially since she was telling him it was a gift. She told him it was a gift. It's in the report. I'm not a Lynn McArthur level legal expert or Pat Futrell, but I know that when you gift something, it's the donee's property once you do that. Like, it's not, otherwise the courts would be filled with dudes that got stood up by going and getting some cocktail waitress a wedding ring when he was drunk. I mean, that's all you would be doing in court. So they don't, I mean, that's probably the reasoning for that, but the police know that to be true, or they had access to that. They could holler at the DA and find that question out, but I know that one. I learned it in business law. Anyway, okay, where was I going? Okay. So I know that was a roundabout there. So let's talk about my attorney can't. Okay. Let me go back to Sergeant Collier. He tries to violate me from my probation, and all I did was do what he said to do, like call the property people. You know, I know we got your property still, holler. So then then I'm looking at the complaint against me to have me jailed. And that's the following day. This is the day after, I'm sorry. Let me back. Me and Sergeant Collier since we're getting technical on that, that's a little, well, you'll know if you listen to that tape. We got a thing about the 9th and the 10th. Well, see, he got it reversed this time again. Like, we've gone well past the trifecta. It was the 9th when they violated me for pretrial for doing what he asked. But then it was the following day when they say we've produced the evidence. So that you can see that sets up a situation that's not exactly favorable for the defendant. Like, if you violate me for doing what you say, and then the next, you don't have to produce what I was asking for in the call. You don't have to produce it. somebody probably got wind of that, and then, but they filed that the next day, like the day after that I was, they produced the thing I was asking for the day after. And that's kind of the thing. I guess that was, why I've been, it's kind of like, that's a damning piece of evidence. It's immutable. Also, you can't go back and make something happen before something else happened in reality. They can't do that. And that's what my attorney, and I've caught my attorney lying about that. Well, yes, I have. I'm going to go, well, unless I see some real progress, and that's kind of the gauntlet that I'm throwing down. That's why it's taking so long getting back to the interval of why it takes so long to holler back. Where I'd left off last time before I forgot what I was talking about was that when I sent an email, when I ran out of minutes about a month ago, I said, hey, listen, I need some, I don't have my phone. I can't call my pretrial, which I'm having to account for every day. They've violated once already. They violated me, like I was talking about. But, hold on one sec. So I say in that email, I say, I don't have a phone. I don't have minutes. I can't get in touch with my attorney. I can't get in touch with my pretrial. I can't get in touch with the FBI. And sent out there. And lo and behold, it was quick when I got that email back. I'm talking about probably less than 15 minutes. I'll have to go check the stamps, date stamps on it. But it was quick, very quick. That word, well, I'm guessing it was, my mom wasn't like overly concerned that I wasn't able to call pretrial, for example. I think she and my attorney were worried that that could be perceived by an FBI agent that was of the mindset that might be considered, what's it called? Impeding a federal investigation. So they got that one out quick. Now, you compare that to this latest email. Now, I've told her, there's no uncertain terms what I'm asking for now. I said, because, there was a snafu there the number of snafus that happen also. This snafu was that, she'd have to get that again, because she had changed computers. Like, does that give you great confidence? They're just like sending the major evidence they don't really know, or, that's a novice to expert to novice. In fact, another example. But I've learned some accounting. I used to be a CPA, by the way. My mom thinks it's the magic bullet. I did my audit skills says to me that, okay, well, let's test that. Let me see that email that you got. That, that same email they sent to me with the Dropbox links. Did they change that procedure? Otherwise, that's how'd y'all get it? Did you have to go down to Landis Green, right next to where I got arrested? Did you go down there to get it, or did you get that in an email like everything else that was e-filed or whatever? I think it's probably the latter. But when I say, hey, let me see that, I want to just test out here because I see a problem in the fact that y'all tried to get me thrown in jail before you provided the discovery. So a good way to test that is just, hey, let me see that email. That's what I've been asked for explicitly now. And I'm saying I'm just waiting for you to provide that so I can send it to the FBI. And that was Tuesday when I said that. Okay, so you see the difference there. The last time they got back to me in 15 minutes, and this time they hadn't got back to me in 5 days and counting. And I don't suspect that they're going to get back with me with the answer on that. We can sit here all month and they won't have that answer because they know it's going to the FBI. And the FBI is going to say, what? You know, the FBI, if they look at it, they're going to identify that there's a problem real quick with that. But the dilemma, the paradox that these people, my attorney now, my own attorney, mind you, the problem that they have over there, even though they've represented it all there and they've looked at it and everything, they know that they don't have that email. Or if they do, or the email that they have says a date after. It's after they tried to get me thrown in jail for it. So that's a problem for them. It's a problem for the police. It's a problem for Sergeant Collier. The reason that it's a problem is because that's specifically, they cover that in the federal code. I forget the section, 242 maybe, whatever. It's called color of law and deprivation of civil rights. They have deprived me. Sergeant Collier tried to deprive me of my life, of my liberty. He tried to deprive me of my liberty before instead of, as an alternate to providing that which is constitutionally, they got a duty. I mean, it's not just like, we might do it when, if we feel like it. They got a duty to produce it. But they don't do that. Instead of doing that, they try to take my liberty from me. That's what you do in a tyranny. That's a tyranny. That's what Sergeant Collier is engaged in. He thought he's above the law. He don't have to do that. He can try to get me, because he knows he's caught with his pants down when I'm nailing him right there in that phone call. And instead of answering, he figures he's just going to get me thrown in jail in the alternate. That's illegal. That's a federal crime. That's deprivation of civil rights. And I don't suspect that Sergeant Collier is going to be a cop forever. I think that he's going to be looking at changing careers. I think that he's going to look at, or the department, the administration, since he's their agent. I mean, he's out there acting as their agent. He's not just like a hobbyist, out there, with a man bun and some Birkenstocks on, walking around campus, saying, what's up? He's not that dude. He's wearing a gun. He's wearing a sidearm with a thing that says Florida State of Florida. He's the agent for them. So there's a thing called respondeat superior in agency law. That means, it's Latin. It says, the gist of it is let the boss respond, is what it is. Like, let the superior answer for it. And you want that to be true. I mean, otherwise, you got some employee and he goes out there and crashes into some people delivering pizza, and the pizza driver, the 18-year-old, doesn't have the cash in the bank to cover wiping out a family that was standing on the side of the road. You want the Domino's pizza to pick the tab up on that if the 18-year-old can't pick it up. So that's called respondeat superior, that concept. In this instance, they don't want the principal to know what they're doing. It's like the mice will play whatever that saying is. While the cat's away, the mice will play. Well, the cat is Florida State University. They don't know what their mice are out there doing. Cats away, whatever. You know what I'm saying? The employees are running wild and saying, don't tell the boss. If you tell the boss, that's why, hey, here's another little, it's kind of weird. I'm not allowed to speak to Florida State. That's a condition. They tell me every time. Hey, that's a condition that's what I'm violated for, is hollering back at the, trying to get my property from the school I went to, by the way. They're saying, don't tell him or we'll put you in jail. Don't tell our boss or we'll put you in jail. That's what they're saying. It's the effect of it. He's wielding all kinds of, look at the power, the abuse of power that he's just abusing power. That's what that's the definition of that. He's got the authority. He can go and get a judge. He can go and fill out, with the assistance, by the way. Well, maybe we're wrong, but maybe Miss Gaskins didn't look at what he was writing down. Well, she damn sure didn't go and, she didn't notice that they hadn't produced the discovery yet, I guess. But Sergeant Collier is out there trying to do that instead of giving me the answers. He's trying to throw me in jail in the alternate, and that's illegal, my friends. And that's how I got them. That's why it's taking 5 days and counting, and we can give them 50 days and they won't produce it. So that's I'm okay. So even though I'm told not to contact the Florida State. Oh, by the way, who at Florida State? Well, I've been asking to speak to the dean of the business school. Are they aware at the? But see, I found a loophole here. I'm willing to. Let's see if they want to tell me that my First Amendment, freedom of association, guaranteed in the Bill of Rights. It's not like stuck. It's not like a new thing. It's in the First Amendment. It's freedom of association. I'm an alumnus of Florida State University. I'm not some dude out there, cooking hot dogs on Landis Green. I'm a damn alumnus, and I was stranded since they had seized my car earlier in the day, and I was trying to charge my phone. That's why they're not. That's among the reasons they're not going to show that discovery. This is just a facade. They can't take this all the way. Because it's going to, I can't believe that the prosecutor is going along with it. That's another thing. The prosecutor needs to get looked at on this. They were not aware. But then again, my agent, my attorney, this is her first case, by the way. She just got admitted to the bar on the very same day that they had to produce the discovery, like the 10th. It's amazing, the coincidence. And now here's in another one of those snafus. She got assigned to some different department, and we've heard hiding her hair. It's as if, now that I'm asking questions back, she's moved off. They've moved her off. But do I not do what? We just kind of start over, and I've been subjected and already tried to jail me one time. Can't you see that that's a problem, that I'm the only one having to account and out there being exposed to going to jail without bond? And they don't even have to produce the evidence against me. And it's right there in the Florida, the rules of criminal procedure. They got to do that in 30 days. They don't have, you can't just keep it open. And, I'm having to account every Monday. They're just waiting for me to get arrested for something. That's what they're doing. They're just hoping I'll be arrested for something, and then I can get thrown in jail and won't be near a computer for a while. And we can just continue to deferred assets, and just run the statute and all that. That's what they want to do. That's the purpose of it. Let's call my mom back to this. My mom doesn't want to talk about this. This is that same subject that, all this time you had to subpoena your mother to tell you what, how that mix-up happened and you were homeless for a week. Do you remember that when that used to happen to you? When your mom had the trespass order against you also, and you were trespassed from another of your alma maters for the devious criminal act of trying to get gasoline and get out of there. I was talking to that office. See, now, is in the proximity of these together, That had happened just 6 days prior. That a similar experience had happened at Gulf Coast, where he doesn't want to give me the document. He doesn't want to provide. He doesn't want to show any written evidence. It's just like they issue. This is another thing they do in a tyranny. Like they just issue the ruling right on the spot. Like we just don't even have to put that in. That's somewhere short on due process. When the cop out on the street hands down the sentence and just skips over that whole due process thing, and then says, the next guy behind me is, he's going to arrest you. Well, okay, what did we miss that part where I got to put this in front of a judge? And that document that I can take to my lawyer, that I can show, and where it shows what I did wrong. He didn't want to really. He was light on that detail. Anyway, the proximity of those things together. Anyway, oh man. Okay, I'm gonna cut it right here. I'll listen to it again, and we got other stuff. Let's see what I want to talk about next. Okay. Here's let me just add this on. Panama City Police, same deal. I'm betting I want to do the same test with them because I'm betting it's all connected together. And how it's connected together is the thing that me and my mom are talking about right before she assaults me. And then following that, my stepfather assaults me. It was frightening. It was really, I thought I was going to be murdered, for Christ's sake. A little known fact is that I bit my mom's finger to get her off of me. Because they were around, they were behind me somewhere, and my mom's finger got close to my mouth, and I could have tore it off, but, I just gave her enough of pressure that she knew it was a bad idea. Anyway, they took the picture of that, the Lynn Haven police did when they subsequently showed up. They didn't haul me off. They wanted to get me to sign a release, in fact, and I declined. But one reason is that, I don't know how many, that guy's probably responded to some domestic battery. And he's aware that from that angle, that type of injury is indicative of somebody that's on somebody's back that is assaulting them, because that's what was happening to me. Anyway, the thing that we talked about right before that got my mom's in a tizzy was when I identified that it was kind of a big deal that her brother had tried to get me arrested in Pensacola. We can refer to that video. That's called Pat's Family. That really sparked my mom off. And the reason on all this is because Pat's cousin. See, there's a clear line of delineation between my family and Pat's family, because Pat told me, don't be talking to her family. Well, one of the members of her family is named Darren, and he's in the state troopers. So that's the connection. If I'm a betting man, he's in the state troopers, so he's the guy that can holler at the people over in. He can give a holla over to the FSUPD. He can holla at the Lynn Haven Police, Panama City, Pensacola, any agency. He's the connection man, and that's my mom. I've nailed her on that, and that's why they assaulted me. So, that ties back to all the rest of this. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and let me end it there, and I'll pick that back up here in a few.